AITA for letting my date pay for dinner? I 19M asked a girl 18F out to dinner. When it was time to pay, she said, "I got it," and went into her purse. At that point I literally had the receipt thing in my hand. I thanked her and handed it to her. She hesitated a bit, but she paid and we went home happy, or so I thought. So from my perspective I really can't see what I did wrong here. From asking her out until receiving the check, I intended to pay. After she offered to pay, I thanked her and allowed her to pay. The next day I woke up to angry texts. She said I put her into an awkward position, forcing her to pay the bill. I asked what she wanted me to do differently. Apparently I should have insisted that I would pay. My friends agree with her. Now I'm wondering if I should just apologize and pay her back. AITA. NTA if she didn't want to pay or wanted to split the bill, that's what she should have said. What she did was offered to pay with the expectation that you would argue the point and offer to pay yourself. That way she gets to look like she was the sort of girl who was willing to pay, but without actually having to pay. She was trying to play a game with you and got upset that you didn't play back. You probably should offer to pay or go halves in the future, but it doesn't change the fact that if someone offers to pay, they can't then turn around and get upset when you take them up on the offer. NTA. I offer to pay for dates all the time, or at least split them 50-50ths. Granted, many guys turn this offer down, but I'm the one offering. If she didn't want to pay, she shouldn't have offered in the first place. Though, maybe next time try to offer splitting it or to pay in full if you can afford it. It's a bit odd, but I noticed Americans especially love having semi-fake "no, I'll pay for it" talks at the end of a dinner, just so everyone looks nice and not greedy. That's likely what she was doing and just assumed you'd say something. Again, though, she shouldn't have offered if she wasn't actually happy to do so. NTA. No wonder women get a bad rep when they play games like this, woman BTW. She shouldn't have offered, and you should find someone different to date. NTA she offered to pay. Y'all really need to chill on these mind-reading games. NTA I'm a girl with traditional leaning values, and even I think this is bullshit. Guys can't read our minds. They don't think how we think. If you say something while meaning another, how are they supposed to know? You don't test someone on the first date. NTA and honestly you don't want someone who plays these stupid little games anyways. If she didn't want to pay, she shouldn't have said anything. She probably thought you would do the "let me pay" dance, basically arguing who should pay the bill, and in the end you pay for it. First date stuff. She only offered to pay for it because she thought you wouldn't allow her to do that. Not sure if that makes you an asshole. I go with nah. She offered and you accepted, but this isn't the way it's supposed to go. NTA she offered to pay, you took her up on the offer. Should you have paid if you asked her out? Yes, probably you should, but you did nothing wrong by letting her pay. As you have now discovered, her offer was meant to be declined by you. She never expected you to take her up on it. She was trying to make herself look good to you by offering, and you were clearly supposed to pay for the meal. As advised, in future, manage expectations and make it clear that you pay it all or go Dutch. NTA bordering on no. It's normal to expect a person to fight with you over who pays the bill, but it's not the only norm. It's not strange to assume she's telling you the truth when she says, "I've got it." Who knows, right? She could have taken your insistence on paying as an insult. You didn't want to disrespect her, you wanted to take her at her word. Ultimately NTA because I think her expectation, while not unusual, was unfair to you. NTA she shouldn't have said "I got this" if she wanted you to pay for the dinner. Nah. This just sounds like awkward kid stuff to me. She probably didn't want to come off like she assumed you were going to pay. But I mean, you asked her out, so I don't think that assumption would have been uncalled for, either. Once she offered, I personally would have said "nah, I got it" one more time, but I don't think handing over the bill makes you an asshole, either. Other folks on here can let me know if I'm wrong, but I think 2 times is a good general rule. Do you like her aside from this incident? Maybe go on another date and pay for it, then things are even going forward. If you're not really that into her, just let the whole thing go. Social shit is hard sometimes, man. Take her response out of this situation when judging the AITA. Friend comes home from a first date that he initiated, and his friends ask how it went. Friend 1, how'd the date go? Op, great, she even paid. Friend 1, that's nice of her, even though you asked her out? Op, yeah. She said she'd pay before I did. Friend 2, you offered though, right? Nope, handed her the bill and she paid. Friend 1, you didn't even offer? WTF, you ask her out friend 2, that's an asshole move not to offer friend 1. Absolutely not getting a second date for that move. $20, says everyone would agree with friend 1 and 2 if date's response wasn't included. And no, not because women are dumb or bitches or money grubbing, it's because if you ask someone out, you are asking them out because you want to spend time with them and are offering to take them out. Not offering to pay or at least split it is a dick move, not saying anything when the bill comes and putting them in an awkward position is a dick move. We are talking about a first date, not dates down the road where expectations change. First date. Nah. IMO the issue with paying on the first date is so important, it's because it reflects the kind of relationship you are searching for or the person you are. If about the gender issues. If you insist on paying, you are consciously subconsciously wanting to be in control in a relationship or simply more of a giver in a relationship if you prefer to split the bill. Most likely searching for a partner that is of equal status with you or simply just cautious and don't want to be ripped off if you prefer the other person to foot the bill. You probably want a provider looking after you or you simply think you are better than the other person. How this girl thinks of you right now is the secondary issue. The real lesson here should be what kind of partner are you searching for and are you doing the right thing to find that kind of partner? As a 19M you are probably clueless to this, so I wouldn't put you in the asshole category. But giving the wrong signal to your date would seriously jeopardize your chances with her. If you seriously like this girl and her bombardment of angry texts haven't put you off yet, try telling her you are sorry and you are more than happy to invite her to insert a place that is good but not out of your budget range and pay for her share during the next date. NTA, but come on my guy, you ask a girl on a date, then let her pay? There's a little social subtext here, she was being nice by offering to pay. There are two acceptable routes here. 1, you didn't feel like you connected and there likely won't be another date, we'll split it. 2, you really like this girl and want to keep going out. No, I asked you out, this is my treat. I mean, if it's number 1 you still could have paid, but I wouldn't have let someone I asked out pay in full for the meal. NTA, anyone who offers to pay should do so with the expectation of having a back and forth about it. If she offers to pay, that's on her, end of. She made the decision before she even opened her mouth. NTA, I know in a lot of places in the world people on dates do a check dance. The guy has to pay, but the girl still goes for the check, but the guy insists. The girl doesn't want to seem like she expected him to pay for everything even though she did, and the guy has to be chivalrous and just pay. I think this dance is very stupid. But in your case I would just apologize, say you wanted to pay and didn't know the custom of the check dance and offer to pay the next dinner and maybe go to a little bit fancier place. Then you have a second date, she's happy, you happy. Everyone wins? NTA, however, on a first date splitting the bill is the best idea. Personally I would have argued to pay my half. She probably was just trying to look good and didn't expect you to agree that she paid. At the same time it's not your fault you're not a mind reader, so she's an asshole in that sense. NTA. She pulled some mind games on you, and you called her bluff when you thought she was making a sweet gesture. She deserved to pay for trying to make you argue over it, instead of thanking you for paying for it. NTA. She's playing games with you and it'll only get worse. Drop her. NTA, stop making things difficult, people. If you don't want to pay, don't offer to pay. I don't care about your politeness. It's not really polite if you don't mean it. NTA. She said, I got it. That means she got it. At most you should have asked, are you sure? Arguing would have been rude. NTA, she wanted to pay, it's childish to say something and don't mean it. NTA, I'd turn down any future dates. Her logic is flawed and you don't want to continue playing these games. You may not be the asshole in this scenario, but don't expect a second date. NTA. Are nice girls here because she expected you to read her mind. Say one thing and mean something completely different. Nah, I think when she said I got it, she meant that she was going to pay for her part, not the entire thing. It was just a misunderstanding on your part, but you're definitely not tough for it. Some girls expect a guy to go out of his way to show how he can handle the check. However, it was also you who asked her on a date, most would assume that it's on you. So, nah. NTA, but you should have offered to split. NTA. Soon as you said she hesitated, I was like, there's that test shit. She did it as a childish test. Then said you put her in an awkward situation? Houseway? Nah. Let her go. NTA or nah. You could politely reply to her, there must have been a misunderstanding, offer to pay half or offer to pay for the next date, and ask her to be more clear in the future. You are not an asshole for not understanding her saying the opposite of what she wants. Since it is sadly a cultural thing to fight over paying the bill and there being unclear unwritten rules about it, I'm not sure if I can call her an asshole either. I'm gonna simplify this for you. NTA reasoning. 1. Societal expectation don't matter. 2. Cultural expectation don't matter. 3. Gender expectations don't matter. Literally the only thing that matters is that one human offered to pay the way for another human. If the human who offered was disingenuous, with no expectation of following through, that human is a liar. Don't pay back. And don't talk again. This is a crazy person. The further you can keep your pecker from here the better. Nta. Here have it. NTA BTW. NTA. First date is at F. I typically offer to split 50/50ths. I don't have any hard feelings if the guy takes me up on it. I offered. I wouldn't have offered if I didn't intend to follow through. Much of the time the guy fights me on it and pays anyway. I am fine with that if there's going to be a second date. If there's not, I prefer to split it and go our separate ways. If he pays for the first, then I typically will offer to pay full for the second. AITA. My reasoning for this has nothing to do with gender, but to do with who asks you to dinner. Maybe this is just me, but I operate under the rules of if I ask you to a meal or coffee, I pay for it. If you ask me, you pay for it. I do this with friends, my boyfriend, etc. There's a difference between I'd love to see you, can you get dinner soon? Which implies paying for your own food, and I would love to take you to dinner. Person who offers always pays in my book.